Why is Nagatoro so popular? Is it just because we all wish a tan tomboy decided to insist on inserting herself into our lives and aggressively flirt with us in a suggestive manner?
じゃあ、先輩ですね。
Okay, new question. Is it for any reason beyond that? Is it for the meme faces? A little. Is it for the mangaka's previous work? Ignore that question. Please don't tease me, Nagatoro is quite controversial. Firstly, they are just the reactions to an anime with a male MC who is unapologetically the sub of the relationship, because we can tolerate all the violence in the world, but an exploration of non-traditional sexuality makes people lose their minds. But there's also the feeling that comes from the first episode when Nagatoro is less teasing Naoto, that's Senpai's name if you didn't know, and more aggressively bullying him to the point of tears. And then she does it again. After that, she kind of calms down and the teasing becomes what we know of it today. And the next time she makes him cry, she actually apologizes, then gets turned on. The actual body of the story is watching Naoto and Nagatoro interact as she teases him for various things in a comedic manner, be it the less than family friendly manga he reads or the idea that he finds her attractive. She also models for him sometimes, to varying degrees of success. Now, a lot of people have already talked about the obvious narrative appeal, and that's Naoto's development due to Nagatoro's teasing. He becomes a stronger person, more capable of holding his own, and gains confidence from dealing with her. The senpai of current anime episodes is far removed from the senpai of the beginning, who couldn't even look at people's faces properly. And from what I'm told, the senpai of the manga is evidently a completely different person on top of that. The background characters having blank faces is a stylistic and probably money and time saving choice on the part of the creator, but it also represents Naoto's own mentality and hesitance to interact with people. Nagatoro's eyes only appear to him when she forcibly inserts herself into his life. But while Naoto's development is notable, what I think is underrated is what happens when you look at the story from Nagatoro's perspective. While from Naoto's point of view, it's the story of how a confident girl barged into his life and manic pixie dream girled him out of his shell, from Nagatoro's point of view, it's an entirely different beast. Because it's the story of how she barreled into her first crush, failed at flirting so hard he started crying, twice, and had to adjust herself accordingly so she could keep interacting with him. This is made especially obvious when you look at the volume extras of the manga and see the sketches of her wondering if she took it too far in the aftermath of making him cry. Naoto is obviously her first crush. She doesn't really seem that interested in guys besides him, and she really has no idea what she's doing. So she teases him and tries to see how that goes. Don't forget that in the first episode she asked him why he was even putting up with her in the first place. When you take a step back and look into her actions with that in mind, her teasing becomes less like fishing for a reaction and more like her chickening out and pretending she was only joking when she said something particularly incriminating. Look at when she asked him to go out with her, only to immediately say she was kidding and then repeat that she was kidding over and over again. Classic denial. Or her mocking him out of clear frustration with his lackluster response to her shrine priestess outfit. Fortunately for her and the story, he's a great mix of shy and being kind of into it that gives her a chance to settle into a better dynamic than simply bullying him. He seems to be able to tell she doesn't mean to be malicious, which is why he doesn't react to her the way he reacts to the other kids who have bullied him before. Why else would he get jealous when she teases other boys, especially when he learns teasing is reserved only for him? That's why when he changes his manga to make Nagatoro the main heroine, one of the first things she does is hiss at the inserts of her friends trying to flirt with his self-insert. He doesn't know what's happening, but his brain sure does. Also, look how happy she looks when she finds the drawing of herself in the manga. The anime hasn't explicitly gone into exactly why Nagatoro likes Senpai, but considering that she herself has her own hang-ups about giving up on judo, I believe she was initially attracted to his passion for art and his drawing of his own manga, even if he did self-insert himself into the story. When one of the background characters offered her a sample of his music, she did criticize him because, according to her, it didn't sound like he put his heart into it, and she later said that she thought he was boring. But she evidently doesn't think Naoto is boring. That's why she likes it when Naoto draws her. I mean, she did eventually give him the promised reward for his first proper drawing of her, a scene that should have been in episode 4 of the anime, but was moved to the end of episode 12. Yeah, that scene happens a lot earlier in the manga. It was moved for a more impactful ending to the anime, but it kind of ruins the meaning if he's already drawn her a bunch before it. I believe one of the biggest appeals when it comes to Nagatoro as a story is that, despite appearing to just be about a guy who's drawn out of his shell by a confident girl, it's really about two teens clumsily maneuvering around their attraction to each other and the unconventional manner they choose to express their attraction, because I was only kind of joking when I called Naoto a sub. The girl's just much better at hiding it.
Shit! Hayase's down! Retreat! Oh, damn it, we're losing her!
Killed in action!
Nagatoro!
The fact of the matter is, Nagatoro is a tsundere. What sets her apart is replacing the physical violence with mocking laughter, and the fact that both of them are actually kind of into it, which means that if they do start dating, okay, I said if, when they do start dating, she won't actually have to change that aspect because, like I said, they are kind of into it. Some of the best moments in the anime is when the game becomes too much for Hayase to keep playing and she reveals her hand either by embarrassing herself or having to backtrack. To completely repurpose a quote, you don't beat Nagatoro by resisting her, you play into her game and let her defeat herself. When Naoto praises the things he likes about her or makes suggestive contact with her body that she's not ready for or stands his ground, she kind of crumbles like a wet cookie. Also, the whole make her come with you joke in the second episode of the second season makes it clear she won't shy away from any moves her senpai may make on his own. Her friends can clearly see it, which is why they engage in their own forms of teasing when it comes to the two of them, and Nagatoro is very territorial of that. After all, teasing is how she flirts with him. She can't let other girls do that. I mean, she passively sings gross when she's on her own, and it's pretty clear she's thinking about him when she does it. These things clearly have a different meaning from the norm for their relationship, even if she would rather claim they didn't. On the surface, Nagatoro looks like the story of a girl showing up in the MC's life and shaking things up. But if you look closer, you realize that while Naoto is the POV character we put the most attention on, it's really the story of two awkward teens navigating an unfamiliar attraction they feel to a member of the opposite sex, and the unconventional manner by which they express it. So I guess what I'm saying is, we all wish a tan tomboy decided to insist on inserting herself into our lives and aggressively flirt with us with suggestive imagery while poorly hiding the fact that she likes us in a manner that turns us on. I think it's a bit tragic that a lot of people write this show off because of the way that it chooses to depict Naoto and Nagatoro's relationship. A lot of people say that it's kind of bait for people who want anime girls to step on them, but ignoring the fact that I do think there's more to the story than just that, it makes me wonder, is it so wrong for an anime to explore this kind of relationship? A relationship where the girl is the more dominant force and the guy kind of has to accept that? Like, yeah, it is made to appeal to people who are into that, but is it any worse than anime that are made to appeal to more traditional methods of guys and girls interacting with each other? Like, should we really be so derisively writing it off? Like I said earlier, we're so used to explorations of violence, but any explorations of any non-traditional methods of expressing sexuality becomes suddenly so controversial and a target for being laughed at or mocked. But those are just my thoughts on the anime. What do you think the appeal of Nagatoro is? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, or check out the playlist for other Why We Love videos. Thank you and good day.